Welcome in to the live stream here at Talladega Superspeedway. The drivers are getting lined up in the garage. We're probably about less than 10 minutes away from the drop of the green in this one. For now, we get the it's been an exciting pill draw in the first couple races we had here. This will be the fourth and final event, the main event at that. We're going to line up the drivers, and they're going to get to do the dramatic pill draw to determine their starting positions as we bring you right into the festivities here at Talladega. And on the call with me, you'll hear him alongside me throughout the entire race will be Cody, Sill. My name is Zack, Tafelski. And the drivers right in front of me are getting ready to do this pill draw, and I think we're already off and running. Depp draws a 24, and Cody, I'll allow you to introduce yourself.
Yeah, that's the nickname, the Heat Miser. Here he is. Then you have Mr. Santa Maria here. He'll draw the 11. That is provisionally pole. Austin Mitchell, 68. That's kind of bottom of the board here. But that's okay. Crazy draws one even worse than him, 87. 1J. He'll draw 85. Phantom, we'll see what he draws. He'll draw 63. Next up is Ryan Wilson. He'll draw 97. That puts him deep back. Tyler Sage, he'll draw 56. And Derek Smith will draw a 43. There comes Axel. We'll see what he'll draw. He'll draw 100. I think big shot there. I want to see 100 draw one. And here comes Diamond. He will draw 39.
Looks like that's everyone for now. Anyone else that joins late is to the back. Diamond was 39. And just like that, the drivers will spawn their Gen 4 cars. They'll put on their scheme. Their scheme will get approved. And I'm going to do my best to call out the order in the correct order. So let's see. We know Ethan has an 11, and no one has that beat Ethan to the front of pit road. He'll be starting on the pole. Next highest number after that looks to be a 24 by Depp. Depp line up behind Ethan in second. Yep. Alrighty. Next lowest number looks to be a 39. That's time in P3. Next up looks to be Derek Smith. He drew a 43. He'll start fourth. After Derek Smith, looks like that 56 drew by Tyler Sage. We'll put him behind Smith. Next up, Phantom drew a 63. Phantom behind Tyler. Following Phantom, we have Austin drew a 68. Then we move to some really high numbers, starting with 1J. He drew an 85. After 1J, Crazy will line up next. After Crazy is Ryan Wilson, followed by Axel, and that's everyone that participated in the pill draw. We're going to make sure all the schemes are good, make sure we have no duplicate numbers here at Talladega. Ethan, Depp, Diamond, Tyler getting the scheme on. Phantom looking good, Austin looking good in that 20. I believe that's 1J in the 9. Then 24, that's Crazy. The 18 of Axel and the 15 of Ryan Wilson. We basically got everything we need to do here at Talladega. We're going to get right into this thing. That's the beauty of what we've done here this weekend. From the pill draw to lining up on pit road, and then in just a moment's time, they'll be rolling off of pit road once the drivers are all ready to go. a final look at the grid before they get rolling. Tyler will rejoin. Live streaming on the RRN YouTube. I'll try to post a link later on through my phone. Nonetheless, this will be up as a video to watch as a replay. Not sure where Axel's going. Oh, I think we're ready to do this, Cody, aren't we?
I would say so. Y'all just gotta get all the drivers here set up. And once we get these drivers rolling out, we will go through the rules here. We'll have Zack here explain the rules here for the 75 lap main event here at Talladega.
What about now?
We do have another driver. It should be better here. I think we have one more driver now entered in here, and it'll be even flow. It's Robert Welsh, I do believe his name. Robert Walsh Jr. Yeah, Jr. I was close. I get an A for effort on that one there. Dard does have a point there. Now let's actually see if we go here. We got Ethan Santa Maria. I do not know. We got the Heat Miser. We know Heat Miser. We got Mark Law, Derek Smith, Tyler Sage. Fanta don't know. Austin Mitchell. 1J do not know. Crazy do not know. Ryan Wilson. That's easy. Axel, and then Rob Welsh.
All right. Now that I should be clearly heard, yes, am I?
Yes.
All right. For the new people here, what I'll really just say before we get rolling out is the merging rules and how that will all go down. You will merge if you wreck and lose the draft, and it's not big enough for a yellow, which more often than not it won't be, but yes, we expect to see wrecks big enough to bring out yellows, but focusing on just merging. You'll merge by getting up to speed below the WL line and only below the WL line, and you will not re-enter the racing surface until the lead pack has passed you on by. Then you will catch on to the end of that draft. You'll be put back onto the lead lap, assuming you did not merge incorrectly or badly. That's really all I'm going to say before we roll out. Anything else that needs to be said, as most of the people have driven this weekend anyway, will be said during the race. I think all the drivers are here now, and we can send them around the racetrack. They'll double file up at the restart zone.
Yep, caution flag here is out, and 100 mile per hour pace lap here to get these guys all out. Man, that's a really cool way that they all rolled out there. They did that all on their own too. A little bit of stalling in the back, but they did that all on their own. No one told them to do that though. But let's go through a little bit of race facts here. We're Talladega Superspeedway here, located in Lincoln, Alabama. I'd say about an hour away from the Alabama-Georgia state line. 2.66 Superspeedway. Start-finish line, unlike traditionally, is not in the travel. It is outside the travel, past the entrance of the pit, past the exit of pit road. We will go 75 laps today, and that is quite significant. That is 200 miles for today's race. So excited about that. We got ourselves a good field here. Halfway in this race will be lap number 30. 30. I guess we'll do it on 38. 38 is when the caution will come out, and yeah, we get everyone set up here. They'll double file once they get into the restart zone.
And that is right here. Just a matter of feet away before Ethan will resume that pole position, first on the inside line, and then the rest of the drivers respectfully will double file up in their position. And as you mentioned, Cody, the 75 laps today, obviously the longest of the weekend for the main event, and the Gen 4 era of NASCAR was the voting winner for what generation to use, and so these drivers got all of their beautiful golden era stock cars out on the racetrack, all of their respective numbers and schemes. And we're going to get right into the starting lineup. Cody, you take the honors first.
All right, here, row one here, and the number 42, Texaco Havoline Dodge. It is Ethan Set Marine alongside him with the 17, DeWalt Smirnoff Ice. Ford, it is Heat Miser DePayton. The row two, and the number 29, Good Wrench. Sugar Ray Chevrolet, it'll be Mark Law. And the 99X side, SKF Ford, is Derek Smith.
Next up, we got the number 28 Texaco Havoline Ford of Tyler Sage. Alongside him in the number 00 Domino's Pizza Ford is Phantom. And the number 20 Home Depot Coca-Cola Pontiac is Austin Mitchell. And in the number 9 Dodge Dealers Charger is 1J.
And here we go here in the number 24 Pepsi Star Wars Chevrolet. It is going to be Crazy. And in the number 15, Napa Chevrolet, Hootie and the Blowfish Chevrolet, it'll be Ryan Wilson, our final row. The number 18, Interstate Batteries Chevrolet, is Axel Brady. And rounding out the field in the number 26, Cheerios Ford, is Rob Welsh Jr.
The starting lineup is complete. The only thing left to do is drop the green flag. They're double fouled up in the restart zone, 75 laps ahead of us. And the R command will be given. We're going to get right into it here at Talladega for the main event cup race.
75 laps, 200 miles here. It's a long way to go. A lot of racing got to go. The green flag waves, and for the first time since like all week in the outside line, it's the better lane here as they cross the start-finish line.
Indeed, Depp leading that outside. We'll get a good push from Derek Smith, and Derek Smith in second place is clear ahead of Ethan, leading that inside line for the moment. Phantom third on the outside, trying to make a battle for third off of turn number 2.
Everybody here down the back straight away here, outside line, not as formed up as the inside. Depp trying to make a big block, makes a bigger block on the outside, forces 3 wide for a split second. They'll work it out, and they will go back down to double file, but it is hectic up here in turn number 1.
Just like that, Ethan takes control for the moment. That's before Depp is going to get another good shove from Derek Smith off of turn number 4. They're about dead even now. Ethan inches ahead once again as they enter the tri-oval.
Ethan here getting help from Diamond behind him. Diamond's going to give him a big push, falls back here. Tyler will give him a push to the back bumper. Ethan continues to hold on the lead. Now top 2 have cleared out over that outside line. The outside line a little bit pretty well formed up. As I say that, though, they get a little scraggly in the back here. They almost pushed it 3 wide. They go back down. And as inside line has contact with Tyler and DePayton.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, the outside did seem well formed up for a second, but the inside has the most energy right now. But there's some contact back there. They were 4 wide for a split second. Crazy has to fall to the back after almost wrecking it. They're keeping it clean for the moment, and they're 3x3 through the rest of the field.
Yeah, that's how quickly this changes here. They went from 2 wide, and now all of a sudden it's 3 wide for multiple rows here. They're still trying to fan it out. The outside line, the third line, still trying to form up. It doesn't have enough momentum at the moment, though.
Ethan trying to stay in control of this race, but he's having to fend off Austin, who is 1 lane higher than him on the middle of the racetrack. It's 3 wide for the lead as they enter turn 1 there. Depp trying to hold on the outside, but he has no push.
Yeah, no push from Derek Smith there in the third, in that third lane here. The middle lane, though, is the one cruising right now. They'll push 4 wide down the back straightaway. Contact. I don't know how they didn't wreck it. They tried their hardest to, but they just couldn't do it.
Still not one merge seen through lap 4. Yes, we've seen some close calls, Cody, but not enough to send a car spinning and losing the draft. Now a good push to Ethan is going to keep him competitive, racing against Austin, who has a bumper full of 1J. Austin has a nose out front. That's until Ethan gets a push off of turn number 4.
Austin goes up high to pick up the push from DePayton. DePayton will get a push now from Axel on the outside, and they'll push to the middle lane. Austin tries to block. They were down there. Now they'll push Ethan down low. They're 4 wide. They're trying to let back in line. Still trying to figure it out back down into turn 1.
And around Ryan Wilson into the catch fence. Collects 2 other drivers, and it looks like just 2 are going to have to merge right here. No caution. That's going to be the first incident we've seen of the day on lap 5.
Yeah, I don't know how that did not collect more drivers. They all got lucky out of that one. So they will probably merge here down the back straightaway. We'll see them merge next time around. that kind of shuffled up the outside line, and now it's mainly just the inside line. No one else besides Austin and Dar on the outside, and everyone else wants to work on the inside. That's fine. That's good. Right now, early on, you don't need to really be pushing it as they were laps ago.
I think early on as well, you could see which drivers are more conscientious of trying to take care of their fellow competitors. I noticed that when Diamond let Ethan back up to the racetrack, and now as I say that, Diamond is taking care of Ethan, pushing him to the lead. Depp left the door open on the inside WL line, and Ethan took advantage. With good pushing from Diamond, Ethan is back to the front.
Yeah, I mean, this is just fantastic racing early on. More competitive than I really thought it was going to be this early in the race. But hey, it's Talladega. You want to try to get all you can get. Ethan right now, though, showing that he has probably the strongest car here to contend with early on.
And he's going to lead that inside for the moment. Yeah, we've seen some competitive racing with higher lanes trying to form some energy right now. 3, maybe 4 cars trying to work on the higher lanes above the inside. And now Phantom jumps up. That could create some more energy off of turn number 4.
Yeah, Phantom, he didn't really have anyone go with him, though. He had the momentum, and that was about it. He'll need to get the merge, or I need to get the push here from DePayton. DePayton will not go with him. He'll go high. He'll fall back in line, though. I think he was just looking, trying to get through him, but could not get the push, and he won it, and there's contact.
Axel Brady up in the air, spinning out. Tyler collected as well, and it's going to be another one that looked to be initially bigger, but ultimately 2 cars will just lose the draft. I did not see how that one started, though.
Yeah, that kind of started here with, I think it was DePayton trying to make it closer than he wanted to be there with the outside line of Phantom. And, well, that kind of shuffled him down here. It seems like once the outside line tries to start getting going, they just kind of fall apart and they get into those little incidences. We will have another driver, though, joining us here this time around. It'll be King. He will be joining us, not this time around, but next time around. So we will add another driver in to the mixture.
I'll have to double check on what that brings the total to right now on the racetrack. Derek Smith leading the outside, some contact in the back, 1J into the wall, and he's around, spinning by himself up and over, back onto his wheels, and he'll have to merge.
Back down the back straightaway here. It's single file, though, through most of the field. We've got the drivers merging back up into the field here. They will merge completely, and for the first time all weekend, we have got, it is all single file. Just as I say that, DePayton poked a nose out there, and now he's going to have to, now even will poke a nose out. Derek will go with him, so will DePayton, and so will Tyler, the outside line, trying to get something going here with Axel merging as well.
Yeah, for a split second there through 3 and 4, I don't know if he even wanted to jump up high. It looked like he was going to be left out to dry with no help. Then Derek Smith took advantage of that, and a couple drivers followed him as well. Right now it's 4 cars on the higher lanes trying to get some momentum going into turn 1.
Yeah, that was a really interesting move there. It started off with 1 driver, and then it moved to 2, then it moved to 3, and as soon as that, now you got 5 drivers on the outside line trying to get something going. 1 driver that's been on the outside for most of this race is DePayton. He's still trying to get that outside going. That's crazy, and Ryan got a little bit of bumper luck. They'll work it out. They'll fall back in line. But right now, it is still the inside line, the place to be.
And Ethan has led the most laps up to this point with some good help from Diamond. That time right there took a big shot from Diamond, so big that I think Diamond had to jump up high whether he wanted to or not. Diamond now leads that outside, racing side by side with Ethan, but the advantage still belongs to that number 42. He has Phantom now giving him a push, but Diamond, a push from Austin, is going to make it dead even at the line.
I really don't think Diamond wanted to jump to the outside. It was a bad situation. Phantom was coming with a run, and Ethan was getting off to try to get a push from Diamond. Diamond had nowhere to go to save a wreck from happening. He had to jump to the outside. Now Ryan Wilson stuck 3 wide. Phantom, whoa, sideways. Good save by Phantom. He'll fall back in line, and now it's maybe a 3rd line foreman. It could just go back down to 2 wide here in just a minute, but good save by Phantom down the back straightaway to hold a big one from happening.
That allowed that outside to pick up momentum, maybe become the dominant lane, at least for this very moment off of turn number 4. They've got some good pushing going on up there. As I say that, also unable to connect to the bumper of Diamond. And now Austin leads the outside. Diamond retreats back down low. He'll get in front of Ethan, who he was pushing not too long ago. But Austin leads the outside, and he leads the race back to the line.
Great racing here. I'm telling you what, this is some fantastic race. Some of the best races we've seen all weekend. It has been just beating and banging those bumper to bumper action. These guys are all over each other. But right now, it is still side by side for the first about 5 rows. It seems like we will also have another driver join us. There's Lena's Diamond gets a bad bump from Ethan. Ethan will let him back in line. And we got a third lane maybe forming.
I'll tell you what, Austin led the outside all the way to the highest point of the racetrack down the back straightaway. I think he doesn't want to be running too tight on that inside lane. He's continuing to get some pushes now from Evenflow, but a middle lane forming, that's led by Ethan.
Wow, that took off really quickly. Ethan went to the middle. He got kind of shoved there. He didn't really go there voluntarily. And Derek Smith said, I'll go with you. And now that's kind of dissolved the outside line as no one wants to be there. They're kind of all over the place, honestly. They don't really know if they want to form or not. But nevertheless, middle lane trying to get something going now.
Usually when in doubt, the inside lane is more consistently able to stay formed up. And now 4 wide as I say that, and it started with a little bit of disshuffling on that inside double yellow line. Diamond trying to block Ethan, trying to receive a push. He gets loose. He's around in front of the field, up and over. Crazy into him. And Ethan's around. That started with the leaders, and ultimately, I don't think anyone's going to lose the draft here.
I really don't. Diamond and Crazy are going to hang on to the back. They're 5 wide into the tri-oval. A new driver's going to enter the field. That's going to be Lean. So it's about, you think this is chaos? Add one more driver to the mix. It's getting intense up here at Talladega.
This all happening as lap 13 of 75 goes on the board. Yes, 75 laps is a little bit here at Talladega, but at the same time, we saw how the previous 3 races just breezed by, especially with not that many yellows. I bet this 75 lap race at Talladega could do the same unless it comes down to a bunch of cautions. These drivers just have to log off these laps. Trouble here, Axel's hard into the wall.
Yeah, that was mainly all Ryan Wilson, honestly. Ryan just did not get off his back bumper. He held him pretty strong, but there goes King. He's around, and he'll get into Tyler. If he could save it, he might be able to stay in the pack. I don't think he will. He'll have to merge. Tyler, however, does save it.
Austin leading it through the tri-oval has continued to stay on the high side, and when you find a good pusher, you usually like to try and help them follow you, at least at this point in the race. I'd say he's been doing that with Evenflow in the 26. Evenflow has been staying to the back bumper of Austin, and they continue to lead it. Austin trying to get a car length in front of the inside, but here comes some momentum off of turn number 2. Phantom now inches out front, but then Austin, once again, it's side by side.
One driver here who's kind of fell out of the lead now is Ethan Santa Maria. I still think he has a really strong car. But if he could just get up there as Axel, that's an interesting merge there on Axel's part. Contact. And they save it. Nope. DePayton will not. A hard hit for DePayton. Axel's around. Multiple cars crashing. Holy cow. Big trouble. Evenful will save it, but my goodness.
That breaks up everything.
They will not. We will stay green. But boy, oh boy, that was probably the wildest wrecks we have seen so far in this race. Shuffled up the outside a little bit. That took away Austin's drafting partner.
Save
Ryan
it.
He almost saved it.
Ryan
will. He will.
1J won't.
Yeah, I think some of those guys in the back, like King and Even, they're maybe just barely hanging on to the draft. Obviously, if this thing stays green, I think they'll be able to catch back up. But nevertheless, it is chaos back here this last lap.
And they'll come back to the tri-oval. The most fanned out, I'd say, Cody, we've seen the field so far following a couple dispersed incidents, and maybe fanned out for the better. Lap 15 will end, and lap 16 will go on the board. Phantom leads it, but he's still fighting with Austin, who continues to lead the outside.
Yeah, if you like I think you said it best here, if you like the outside line, or if you like a certain line, you might as well stay with it. Austin likes the outside line. He's been able to work really well there. That's exactly what he's doing. He's holding that outside line. The drivers going with him here are giving him good pushes. That has a lot to do, though, with how well he can square himself up to get the good pushes. And he's doing a good job at that. Derek Smith here, I think he may have had to take a breather out there. The car may have been getting a little hot there, but he's been pushing Austin for a good portion of this as well.
Haven't seen Derek Smith lead in the front portion of this field yet, but right now I think he's content with pushing Austin on that outside. Yes, as you mentioned, we saw him kind of dip to the middle of the racetrack, but he safely resumed his spot second in line on that outside, continuing to push Austin, and Austin continues to try and inch out in front of Phantom, and right now the inside does not have as much help as the higher lanes do.
I'll tell you one thing. Yeah, the outside line is really good in contact. That was too much of a push down the back or onto the back straightaway. That really fanned out. That was actually a wreck avoided. Austin Mitchell now is in the sucker hole. He's got to find a way to get in the line. He gets loose on the entry to the corner. Outside line though will still stay away from. Not going to let him in. He might fall back. He's just barely holding on up here through his side draft.
Another near wreck. It all started off with turn number 2 with some bumper locking, it looked, but ultimately no one actually spinning around, no one losing the draft, and that means no one will have to merge. Some big pushes here on the outside. Tyler Sage almost turning Derek Smith unintentionally right there because he wasn't able to get squared up, and now some tight racing into turns 1 and 2. Austin still stuck in the middle.
Yeah, 1J went around in the back here, but we are still good here. I think that was just a bad incident of side drafting, but nevertheless here. One driver still holding on to the very back. I don't even know if he has the draft. That's even flow. He decided not to merge. Quite a ways back there. Could be a smart strategy just to get yourself, keep yourself kind of clear-headed here. Not have to worry about the beating and bustling of this front pack. King, though, however, has held on. He's actually caught back up to the pack. Derek Smith, bad bump from Phantom in the travel.
I don't know if it was that or Derek Smith getting a little too loose on his own right there. Maybe overcompensating down the racetrack, trying to catch that inside line. He's actually going to get loose here and into the inside while back up the racetrack. Watch out. Misses everyone, but Derek Smith will have to merge.
Yeah, I really don't think Derek Smith likes his car handling right now because we saw him behind Austin Mitchell. He was very loose. Now, speaking of Austin Mitchell, he's gone from the leading the outside line to the back of the outside line, and now that outside line's cooking, but DePayton drops out. He wants to take the lead with the inside line. A big push coming with that inside line, but they're all on each other.
Not the first time Peyton has not been content with riding around in line and making a move for the lead. We saw that a bit earlier in this race, but Tyler Sage able to hold the lead, and it is that number 28 Texaco machine really standing up front for the first time. As I say that, he's going to jump up high here, trying to catch the momentum of the outside. That opens up the door for Depp on the inside to try and battle for the lead, but Tyler has it at the line. Here comes Lean up the middle.
Good racing up front here. Very tight quarter racing, though. Lean now falls to the middle here. Tyler Sage, where will he go? He's got to block the outside line, the inside line, the middle lane. He'll take the inside line. He'll block them. And DePayton will hold in line. That middle line, though, is getting some cars here. We got 3 lanes of racing here. And it might be three-way for the lead here in just a minute. But right now, it's Tyler and Ryan side by side.
It's the inside most lane versus the outside most lane. That middle lane was a couple cars back, and they're going to fall back here as they actually look to have dispersed. Lean is in the middle with no help, and Tyler leads the inside off of turn 4. He's clear out into the lead, and here comes a big push. Some bumper locking will get them out of shape, but not wreck anyone. It will put Depp out of line. Tyler will hold the lead, though.
Yeah, DePayton here will kind of be the odd man out now. The 2 Texaco cars here on the inside line. Oh, there goes Lean. He's in the diamond.
More trouble.
They make contact. They're wrecking it up. Crazy. Multiple cars. There's King around. Ryan's around.
That's every time they'll wreck like that, and everyone somehow saves it, and they stay at the draft. We have not seen an actual big wreck yet that takes drivers out of the draft and might warrant a yellow. It's been crazy.
Yeah, speaking of crazy, Crazy is the only one that falls back out of that. He will have to merge next time around. That really dispersed the outside line again. Outside line's going to be, Axel got into DePayton and got into Lean, Ethan, 1J, Diamond, even. Those are all the guys that got involved. Only one out, though, is Lean. I think 1J and Ethan will be able to get back here as long as they stay in the pack.
Oh, bad push
all over the place
to Tyler from Depp. It made Tyler really almost lose his race car, but after a couple wiggles, he holds the lead and he's got that back under control as trouble in the back.
Big hit for King. He went around. Axel is a wrecking ball right now. Holy cow. I don't know what he just wrecked himself too. Got into Ethan again. They are all over the place back there.
Once again, the series of events we've seen over the past 2 laps or so has left the field a little dispersed. It's just 6 cars, 3 on the outside, 3 on the inside, battling for the lead as the rest try to latch onto that draft.
I remember just a few laps ago we were talking about even flow. If he even had enough to get onto the back of this draft, well, he's in 7th now. He's on that 4th car on the inside line. These guys are getting really squirrely. And Austin thought about low. Man, he wanted to abandon the outside, got a push from even, and almost wrecked the outside.
Really hard to keep up with what's going on right now as Depp takes the lead, and he'll lead it off turn number 2. He's going to try and block Tyler on the high side, and Tyler will push him for the moment. Now Depp has to go back down low, and here comes the momentum. The 99 to the 28, and here comes another big push that's going to make them dead even. Tyler Sage will actually carry some more momentum into turn 3, trying to take the lead.
Yeah, side by side still. I feel like that outside line, they do somewhat do better for some reason with less cars. I don't know why. It seems like once they get a lot of cars here, they get too much momentum and they just don't know how to handle it.
And it's just 3 cars as Crazy gets a bad bump. Austin is a victim, but he will save it. Lean will go up.
Oh, he almost did.
Lean goes around.
Axel will have to re-merge here as he rejoined, but nevertheless, still side by side up front. Diamond and Tyler leaning on each other down the back straightaway.
Oh, Depp's left in the middle.
Now.
Depp, no
Tyler
help.
Really had no choice.
Oh, Diamond jumps up. He's actually going to push Depp. I mean, that's a lot of momentum right there that Diamond took to the middle of the racetrack. Whether he planned it or not, he's now racing 3 wide for second as Depp is the lone cat out front.
Well, you know, that's funny here. Diamond moved to the middle. Crazy moved to the middle. They moved to the middle same time. Almost wrecked each other going for that middle spot.
3x3 racing now. About 3 lanes trying to get going. But now that middle lane, it's tough to be competitive if you're a middle lane in between the outside and inside. Crazy loose in the back. Contact made some more. They'll save it.
Oh, and lane. Oh, whoa, holy cow.
Around Clark's King.
A one to win. Debate now holds on to the lead. I have a push coming from Phantom here. Phantom will just get through. Phantom's been up here a good portion of this race. And I think another driver that's been up here for a good portion is Ethan. Ethan led a good portion of the early half. But other than that, he's kind of been marred back here. Ever since he kind of lost the lead, he's not been able to really hang on to it. Austin got it to the back of door. And they will both try to save it. They will. They'll lose a little bit of the draft. And then they just wreck each other again.
Stars around. And now Austin involved.
They'll figure it out in the back. I don't know what that was.
25 laps complete here at Talladega, and you mentioned it, Cody. We're starting to get a good glimpse, a good idea of some strong cars, but at the same time, it's hard to kind of gauge who all might have a strong car because maybe some strong cars, they've just been content with pushing more than being in the clean air, leading out front, trying to block the drivers. As right here off of turn number 4, Ethan, some shuffling there on the inside will leave Depp on the outside. He's going to get a good push here, though, and he'll be well ahead of Ethan, as will Phantom in second. Big momentum.
Yeah, I think the momentum took them to the outside. I don't think they really wanted to. They took on the momentum. You see Ethan and Even up here. Even was a hell of a pusher with Austin a while ago when that outside line was moving. Oh, my goodness. Ethan, I tell you what, that is a handful. When you get a car like that and you somehow save it, that is a handful. He saves it, holds on to that second position on the inside line.
The two merging here as Even flows around, gets up in the air a little bit, now barrels, and he'll wreck by himself. Not sure how he got spun.
And I think it was just maybe a bad bump or side draft gone wrong. I'm not too sure.
3x3. Well, it's just Phantom stuck in the middle here. The sucker hole, as we might like to call it here at Talladega. He has no help, and he's just looking for a spot in line at this moment as it's once again the outside versus the inside. Ryan Wilson coming down the side draft. There's not enough room there. Ethan flips it around, and he's on the outside.
Holy cow! What a save!
How
Crazy!
crazy.
Not gonna be a
Whoa.
Zacky!
Oh, no.
Oh!
Tyler
And
into
another wrecking
Ethan.
up front. Multiple drivers involved. They're wrecking on the outside. Ethan.
Oh, man. Tyler
Oh my
on his
goodness.
roof.
He's getting dragged.
Now
And
flips
he's
it back
good.
at Austin in the air. That wreck started in turn 1. Austin still trying to save it now. Ethan is.
Oh my
I put it
goodness.
out for that one.
Yeah, that's a good part. So we have 6 drivers come back to the line all in the main pack. That one was crazy. Holy cow, that wreck started
Oh,
in
now the
front and it's
leaders.
still wrecking.
Oh, Depp might have won it spinning. I don't know what happened there. What a turn of events here at Talladega. We have our first caution of the race at lap 29.
Well, that wreck started in the exit of travel and didn't end until they entered the travel the next lap. That was absolutely crazy.
Probably a good yellow at that. Gives the drivers all a chance to breathe as we are nearing halfway, less than 10 laps to go to that point. And like I said, this race can breeze on by with some green flag racing. And when we get back going, it will be a little bit of a shootout to the halfway, assuming we don't have another yellow. Oh my god.
Holy cow. I do not know what happened. I can only
Axel
imagine.
into the stands. Caught it on video there.
Well, you can see the. Wow, it's crazy. Well, this tech, I think, gives them time to breathe here because the action just did not stop there for a while. There's so much going on. It's hard to keep track of everything when everyone's getting around and banging and banging like the way they are.
They'll get double filed up here. And Cody, is it that 38 lap point that you heard the comp yellow come out? Is that correct?
Yeah, that was when the cars will come out. It'll come out coming to lap 38. So probably when they get into the trial on lap 37 is when that car will come out and they'll race it back. And then, so yeah. Good.
We'll have a pause here for drivers NR. Also, Axel having to line back up.
Yeah. We have 14 drivers in the field. But throughout this weekend here, we've not seen a race have more than one accident caution. We saw both the Xfinity, or yeah, I think we saw one of the Xfinity, but we saw one in the trucks. I know. Arco went completely green besides the halfway. I got a feeling that with the way these guys are racing, we're going to see another caution for incident before this thing is said and done. We know we got another caution for the yellow coming up, but I don't know. I got a feeling here. going to get a little hectic here.
And how aggressive will the officials, being us two, be on the button when it comes down to the home stretch inside 10 laps? Because while we've had yellows, like you mentioned, none have ever created a late race restart scenario. Usually never have been big enough to warrant a yellow, instead just cause drivers to merge. And maybe this is the race if it comes down to a big moment like that. But for now, we made it 29 laps before the first yellow of incident, and we're right near that halfway point as well, so that will be a yellow. And allow the drivers a halfway break.
I think we are getting set to get this thing back underway. Yeah, the driver is ready, so we are ready to get back under the green flag here at Talladega.
All right. All the drivers are gridded up. The R command is given. No NRs we are aware of. That means we have the go-ahead to give the countdown and get back underway here in Talladega, Alabama. The clock ticks towards 0. We're back underway. Crazy gets maybe a little bit of a head start. He'll have to give up that time as chaos ensues.
We got absolute. We got 4 drivers around already on this restart. That's even Ethan, Tyler, and Phantom. The rest of the field, though, is off and away.
Crazy does have to let the field catch up to him here. Now he will dip low, I presume, to, I guess, let them catch up.
Yeah. Yep, there he is.
There's a super speedway. At that, not much you can gain from a head start, but Crazy will have to get past here. He will now have to fend off King, who takes over on the outside. King trying to lead this race for the first time as they're 4 wide behind him.
Oh, man, the Peyton came on with such a run, and King went up to block it, and it was just no go there.
Oh.
He got right up to him, and they're making contact. The Peytons are around, they're 4 or 5 wide behind them. You would only think with a handful of cars they wouldn't wreck this much.
Oh, my goodness.
Like that's gonna be another caution.
Yes.
I said it.
Not much green flag racing right there.
They will race it back. They did that in a condensed pack, by the way. There were about 4 or 5 drivers merging on the back as that was happening. So,
not much of a lead pack to speak of here. 6 cars off of turn number 4, racing back to the L. 3 wide. Eileen made a legal move right there, saved by the WL line. He's going to have a chance to take the lead. Has a nose out front. He'll hold him up.
I think he got it.
Lean Crazy 1J is what I think I clearly saw right there.
Oh man, I don't think caution breeds cautions in the race, but that's what it's looking like right now.
And not the first time we've seen kind of consecutive yells like that. You mentioned already the, I guess you call it lack of yells for incident. Obviously with the merge rule, you're not going to see as much yells unless it takes a big chunk of the field out, as we mentioned before. But now we've seen that on 2 separate occasions back to back around the lap 30 mark here at Talladega. We're going to rack them up once again.
And drivers getting set to go back racing here. That restart, that was pretty hectic. A lot of drivers wrecking in the back. They didn't even get a chance to merge before the next caution came out. So
once these drivers make it to the halfway point, no new entry can join in. And as we're under a yellow for the second time, we're going to take the moment to I'll just shout out the game that's made this all possible from the works of Greg. It's just Greg, his username. He has not only created the popular Dega game thing, as it's called, but he has given us the chance to have our own server here, which allows us to have this beautiful ticker at work. And we're able to click the toggle scroll button in the top left to have a live ticker scrolling that updates every lap, as well as cool caution banner and lap counter that will change to display how many laps to go once we get towards the end of the race as well. We're really excited that we've gotten this weekend. Bottom of the line, it is a fun race here at Talladega. Yes, there is a Robux prize, but the drivers are just trying to have a good time out here and enjoy the great racing Greg's game provides.
No doubt here. Thanks to him again here. Without his courtesy and everything, this would not be possible. We would not be able to do this. So,
every driver ready here? Any NRs to be made aware of? I do not think so. The R command will be given to ensure that. And as the R's roll into the chat, the countdown will go back up once again. We'll see if we can make it a little bit farther this time. Back-to-back yellows. Now we're back green. Crazy. This time a good start, and he did not jump it either.
Yeah, he did get a push there by Ethan pretty well there. Outside line. I tell you what, all weekend's been bad. And in this race, it's been the exact opposite. That's the line to be in on these restarts.
That outside, just 3 cars that are not really riding on the WL line as they come off of turn number 2. Crazy leads it, getting pushed by Ethan, and Ethan pushed by Lee. That's your top 3. They're clear of the rest of the field.
I'll tell you one thing here. The outside line diminished very quickly and picked up very quickly. There was no outside line out of turn 2 and into turn 3. There's about 5 cars, 6 cars on that outside line now.
Little bit of contact in the back. Austin up the racetrack. Around goes Axel.
He saves it though. I thought that. Yeah, good save there by Axel. Able to keep on the grinders there. Big block by Crazy. Not going to be down there enough. And for the first time in a long time, Ethan Santamaria back out front.
And Ethan, we know he made his presence felt earlier. Axel's around once again. He'll spin it once again and keep it going.
Again. It's like 2 for 2 for Axel here.
It should be noted that Axel's driving is on probation, or he's under more scrutiny than the other drivers.
I don't think he'll save this one.
I think Austin took it into his own hands right there. He saved it, but he's on the outside of the racetrack now. Contact.
Oh, contact. Oh, big flip.
And look at the mess that has created through 3 and 4.
Somehow work it back together here. 3 wide up front here. And Tyler has no help. He did that all from side drafts and stuff. Now, one thing I do not understand why these drivers are doing, and I've seen it a lot this race, is the pushing down. I understand the side draft, but these guys are given no room. And honestly, that's kind of been the reason these wrecks here have been happening. Drivers just giving no room, pinching the drivers on the inside line. To where they can't really do anything about it.
Well, and on a serious note as well, abusing that type of racing and doing such as so, that can be a way to quickly rack up your 1 out of 3s. And if there's one way you can DNF, maybe the only way it's getting to 3 out of 3 for bad driving, whether it's bad merges or just turning down into the inside lane. That is not allowed. That is considered disrupting the racing, and it's not proper either. So as it is observed, and if it's seen by the officials, it will be called.
Well, Ethan Santamaria has the lead, Diamond and Phantom and DePayton. That's about how the top 4 was early in this race.
Field all over the place. Hard to see which lane is formed up well as Tyler is around. Flips over. I think he'll save it. Yes, he will.
I think he'll be fine. He'll have to find his way back in the line here. 2 cars back there, Ryan and 1J. They'll work it out. 3 wide behind them for a big push by Austin on the outside to DePayton. That goes into Diamond into Ethan. Nothing that they could do. That was just all part of the pushes. They're 3 wide, 3 by 3 for 2 rows deep behind Ethan and Diamond.
Diamond will choose to draft up to the back bumper of the number 42 of Ethan Santamaria. That momentum will go to him, and it will go to him once again with another good push there. Ethan leading like he did earlier in this race, and he's making his presence known, making it known as well that he has a good race car. Lap 36 on the board. We're nearing this halfway point.
Next time by here will be the last full lap of green flag racing. These drivers here are getting really antsy trying to get to this halfway, knowing that there will be a caution up there to Peyton, get pushed up into Austin, back down. They will save it, but they had to get on the gears there. That could have been a lot worse than what it was. Lean, though, trying to get a run. He'll have help from King. And another push on the... Well, now I hadn't thought that's what he's going to do. Yeah, he's going to go to the inside. King will go with him. They're 4 wide. Derek Smith with a huge head of momentum.
Lean, one of those drivers as well that is probably more likely going to take runs instead of sit in line. He did so right there. He leads the inside, but he does not lead the race because it continues to be the connection of Diamond and Ethan creating pushes and taking Ethan to the lead as there's trouble behind.
Oh.
Couple of cars flipping and taking out Axel, Phantom, Depp, and Crazy back there.
Oh, they won't have a chance at halfway. The caution will come out here into the tri-oval, so it'll be a race back for that. Side by side up front, Diamond with a run up the corner. He'll get a push from Austin. The outside line, once again, really feeding itself with more drivers.
Now, if you're Austin, there's not much that you can gain from winning the halfway except a nice starting spot for the second half of the race. Will Austin continue to push Diamond here, or will Austin like to say he won the halfway? He did so yesterday in the Xfinity race, and now he has another chance here. He'll dip down low. Diamond tries to block. Now back up high.
Hey, Austin's going to get a run, and it's not going to bump it well. Caution will fly. They'll race it back to the line. Austin's got a big run, and he didn't get there in time.
Diamond wins the halfway compy here at Talladega. Nothing but bragging points, knowing that you raced back to a determined point and led the field. And so Diamond will lead the field back for the second half of this race. We got this race going, by the way. Green flag was roughly around 9:15, and so we reached the halfway point just past 9:50. We're making great time here at Talladega in a 75-lap race, and now we are at this halfway point. Drivers will have a chance to use the bathroom should they choose. And as soon as all the drivers are ready, we're back going.
Indeed, I do believe Diamond... Yeah, so Diamond is good. So whenever we get them all lined up here, we'll bring him up, talk to him, and get his thoughts on what his car's like. He's been up front for a good portion of this race. So, but with that being said here, we will just... be a quick break here.
Invite him up right now. We can just talk to him as soon as we see fit, because the drivers will be in our anyway and trying to line up. Alright, I'd like to talk to Diamond. We know we have contact with him now. Diamond, you'll be leading the field back for the second half of this race. And Diamond, you made your presence felt out there. I'd say you have a winning race car, a good race car at that. Not only were you a good pusher, but you knew how to lead it when it mattered most, and it mattered most right there. Not as much as it will matter for the checkered flag of this race, but your thoughts on the first half?
Honestly, just a really good first half there. I've been working with guys that I've just known for a while, and I've done most of these races with before. I've been trying to stick with my fellow guy from Massachusetts, Ethan, trying to help Depp out, and anyone else who's just been giving me good pushes. I know there's a couple people who have definitely been testing the limits of how low you or trying to block. I was just been trying to stick with Ethan's bumper, seeing as he's been someone who's able to stay clean majority of this race. I haven't had the merge yet or do anything, so really strong car. And after seeing what happened during the truck race, I know it wasn't intentional, and I know it wasn't anything like that, but I know I know how to lead this field, so really just gonna try to see if I can hold on to this, or be in a position to where I can win this thing.
And I actually wanted to hear your thoughts while you're going to have a restart here. The restarts have been an interesting point of this race. It's hard to get lanes formed up outside versus inside. Are you comfortable in a spot restarting on the outside, or in the inside, I should say? And if it comes down to it later in the race, is that the place to restart at? Do you think that restart's better?
Honestly, I think while the inside has sometimes not the greatest momentum at the beginning, after turn two, I think there's going to be the bigger head of steam through there. Outside just gets way more spread out, and I don't think they have the greatest head of steam off of each each beginning of it. And knowing that, I think it also just comes down to how drivers are going to react to it. Some guys are getting spun out, unfortunately, they can't control that, and then there's other guys who are just being way too aggressive, way too early on the beginning of these restarts. So just gotta really depends on just who you're working with or who people are behind you and next to you. For example, like we were able to have a good battle there towards the last few laps just because everyone up in that main pack really knew what they were doing. They knew how to keep their space, knew when moves were needed to be made, just to give the room. Austin gave me a really good run for that halfway point there. I know he's someone who, if you give him respect, he's gonna give it right back. So definitely just shows what happens with just how people race here. So know some guys are getting really angry early. So yeah, I think the inside will be somewhere I'm gonna favor. But when it comes to just becoming a field manager during this race, I feel like I'm comfortable with any line. Honestly, I've been able to get up to the front on the high, the middle, and the low side. Just depending on who I've been with, I've been able to be a good pusher too. So goal right now is just to make as much friends as possible.
You have worked with Ethan quite a bit. You guys both the Massachusetts boys. Uh, but honestly, do you feel like it's good to have friends, even though this is a super speedway? Do you feel like it's good to have friends in your back pocket when you're drafting?
Oh, 100%. Those guys are going to know how you race way better than other people. And on top of that, they have less chance of bailing out on you. I know there's a couple people who I tried working with, haven't even raced them once, and they've just been trying to avoid me. So it's not many people, but definitely just yeah, it really is good to have friends at this track. Really, just trying to figure out who you want to work with, knowing that you're gonna have someone either guaranteed to help you if you're able to just return the favor back, and that's what I've been trying to do with Ethan. Just been trying to get him into the lead or just help him be able to control it. When I'm pushed out of line or trying to make my move, I'll try my best to help him stay up here with me and just all right, we do our best to avoid any wrecks, and we've done a pretty good job of that so far. So yeah, friends really do matter at these super speedways, and yeah, like I said earlier, just try to make as many friends as possible, not trying to
All right.
piss anyone off this early.
All right,
Okay.
Diamond. Uh, good luck here in the rest of the race.
All right, we're ready to go in the second half of this.
God.
The R's have been given at this point. Everyone is back and ready to go.
Here we go here. Well, we've entered one more driver. That's the final driver wheel winner for the rest of this race, and that's Marcus Vanderlee. Green flag, though, back in the air to that even start for everybody. Holy cow, that was the best restart we've seen all weekend. They already fan out, though, 3 wide down into turn number 1.
Well, I think the drivers had the longest time to plan the restart there with the extended halfway break. It makes us very formed up here off of turn number 2. The advantage still at the inside, but that can change quickly here. Austin Lee in the outside trying to find a push here as he jumps up high.
Still working down the back straightaway here into turn number 3 here. Oh, man, 1J. I don't know what that was all about. He pushed even as low as he'd go. That pushes Dar back up track. Everyone will save it. We say
No.
green. Tyler, no, he will not.
Oh,
Tyler actually saves it, and
yeah.
so will Austin.
They saved it.
Everybody's good.
Tyler just caught the air there for no reason. He was just trying to save it on the inside. Went back up in the field, but luckily they all save it, like you said.
Holy cow, I tell you what. That was some very good racing there. Very smart driving by those drivers. Now Lean and Ethan leaning on each other. They'll try to work it their way. They will work it out. And now the outside line kind of disbanded. We'll have to see if they will work it back out.
And Diamond, the lone cat up front, he's going to have to hope that Ethan chooses to push him here if he wants to keep the lead. That's exactly what happened. And, you know, the chemistry of them two right there, they've been pushing each other, well, all race long, but a wreck is going to ensue behind Diamond.
Oh, that'll take out 3 cars. Maybe just 1. Ethan may be the only guy out because Crazy and Lean, nope, Lean's around. So Crazy does keep it going, but
Not trouble.
nevertheless, wants to get a wreck again.
2 more cars, make it 3 taken out, maybe more. Evenflow has loose. Evenflow will save it, but the rest in the trial will have to merge.
Yeah, that was well, it's just one of those incidents where it's mainly racing incident, but that was just kind of all over the place. You kind of had to just hold on to it and hope for the best.
So Diamond trying to work all the lanes because right now he has 3 lanes working behind him, but the best momentum will come from Tyler, and Tyler will hold on that WL line and will push Diamond.
Outside line now trying to get something going. That's 1. Jay and Axel. Those are 2 very, that's a hell of a mixture. I'll just say that. You got Marcus also up there. And oh man, Diamond almost had a bad bump. He somehow worked it out. You got 3 drivers merging here out of the trial. They will all merge. They'll do it fine. Oh, contact. Axel got into. Oh, there goes Marcus.
Marcus into the catch fence. Evenflow does the same, and they're both around back there. More trouble.
As well.
King.
Ethan around again, just as he got back into the game.
And so they'll merge back there. Marcus actually, after hitting the catch fence, does not have to merge.
Tell you what, though, these guys are getting really antsy. They're making moves that I don't think need to be made with this much left in the race, but I don't see them calming down anytime soon.
Diamond working on the inside. He's been getting pushes from Tyler Sage, and Tyler Sage, he's been getting pushed by Derek Smith. Them 2 running 2nd and 3rd. They've been more of the ones being content with holding their position and being the pushers, and it kind of goes hand in hand with what you said just moments ago, Cody. I think they're more content with racing for the situation with 42 laps on the board, still well over 30 to go. They're not going to make hero moves at this point of the race.
Yep, contact there. Axel went around. He will be able to save it. Good job there by Axel. He'll actually use King to help him out as a 1J wildly flipping.
He was on his nose there for a second.
I'll tell you one thing, too. Evenflow has lost the draft, and he is not merging.
And now Derek Smith taking a move here, gets the momentum he likes, and he jumps up high. Diamond currently with no help on the inside. It's going to be of where Austin wants to push, and Austin will push Derek Smith. That'll put Smith out front. He clears into the lead as they cross the line.
Oh, hard hit for Lane. King around and Axel as well. Multiple drivers in the back half of the field here around. We will stay green. This is one of the biggest fields we've had all weekend. And it seems like the back half just can't keep their hands clean. It seems like they are just continually getting into each other and wrecking every time they try to merge.
Right there, Derek Smith going back up to check the momentum created by Austin Mitchell, and now drops back down low. Austin has room as well. That's Derek Smith, Austin Mitchell, Tyler leading that inside the top 3.
Crazy got real tight there on the entry of 3. He slides up into DePayton. They'll work it out, though.
And it's single file up, and as I say that, some maybe awkward pushing there creates an opening, and Diamond looks loose right there, but he'll gather it back up and merge back into the racetrack. The top 3 remain single file ahead of the rest of the field.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm trying to listen to the radio over here. Evenflow is all alone. He's entering 1 as they're exiting 2. He is looking for someone to go with him to single-handedly make it back up through the field. He does not want to merge. He's not a big believer in that, I guess. But that is an interesting strategy by Evenflow. He has the option to merge, though.
Well, I mean, we're still not at the 30 to go mark. I don't really question it. There's a lot of time left in this race. He could just maybe even get a yellow created. Otherwise, don't put yourself in a situation you don't want to be in. Don't put yourself in a situation where a driver could get mad at you. I think that's another thing that can get overlooked as well. Just ride around. No points are getting counted for leading laps. It's all about who can lead on lap 75 here at Talladega, and you just got to make sure you're in position when that counts.
Contact there, Phantom. Go Tyler Sage. Big flip for him. Everyone avoids him. Holy cow. That was a good avoidance there. At the back end of the field, Diamond loose off the corner. And he'll wreck. He might be able to... And no, he gets absolutely clobbered by Axel. But I think they both saved it. And then Axel hits the inside wall.
Yeah, I mean, every time it seems like we have, an opportunity for maybe a big pile-up, a definite yellow, if you will, ultimately just two drivers are the ones that are losing out.
Lost somebody. Their car just disappeared in turn 3. I don't know who that was, though. But nevertheless, Derek Smith and Austin Mitchell, 1 and 2. Mark is going to get the push to Dar. And we are now 30 laps to go here at Talladega in this one.
For context, 30 laps was the length of the ARCA race, and the ARCA race went green besides the Comp Yellow in the middle of it, and that race breezed on by. Could we see so much similar of a situation here with 30 laps to go? Might they make it all the way to the checkered flag? We'll have to wait and see as these laps wind down here at Talladega.
Yeah, I could see another caution happening before this thing is said and done. The way these guys are racing, it's just too chaotic.
Right now, drivers just content racing mostly on the WO line unless you're Austin Mitchell, Crazy, or Depp working that higher lane, and it's Austin leading that outside, getting pushed by Crazy, and he's keeping it competitive, racing with the inside there and through the tri-oval. You see right there, they're not overdoing it. That's how, side drafts should be done. We've seen, and we mentioned it before as well, the side drafts that are kind of illegal. I mean, they are if you're turning down into the lane below, but what Austin did right there, that's a good example of how to side draft correctly.
I'll tell you one thing as well. Someone has picked up even flow, and that somebody is Lean. They have picked up each other.
Trouble.
They're in the back. The question is if they'll be able to catch her up to the field. Ethan up front. Oh, I thought he was going to save it. Oh, Crazy, he will.
An incident there that started, looked like with Crazy trying to fill a gap. I did not exactly see how it started, but it was Crazy and Marcus making contact, and then it all trickled down to Ethan in the back, and he's going to be the only one merging out of that.
Austin hit a track snag, jumped up the track here. He'll back to the outside line. I'll tell you what, if there's anyone that can lead that outside line, that is Austin Mitchell. He's been doing that really well today. Ryan Wilson will go jump up in front of him now.
You got to respect from Austin Mitchell. I mean, you're not going to make things happen if you just ride around on the inside. Austin Mitchell has been one that's definitely able to commit to the outside. We've seen it all weekend long as well.
Yeah, it's not just today here. 4 wide,
5 wide. That's not going to work.
That's, nope, not going to work. And they save it.
I mean, I don't know if I should say that's not going to work. It didn't, even if they save it.
I just don't understand it.
Ryan Wilson making an appearance up front for really the first time today in that number 15. He has no help here, though. He's going to lose the lead temporarily as Derek Smith will take the momentum on the inside and lead him back to the line.
I know all those fans out there want to know the tally on the even flow story. We'll add another driver to that. Ethan Santamaria has jumped into that. That could be the pack to watch out for. Those guys get enough steam. You know drivers are going to want to work with them.
And we're going to check in on him here, just looking at it for the first time on camera. It's those 3 cars that are content with drafting with each other. Could that be the move? If one of them wins, I think we'll look back to them just kind of riding around at this point in the race and just not risking anything.
Axel got really loose, and I think 1J wanted to save it about 15 times there, but he won't. They'll have to merge. Meanwhile, Phantom and Axel, though, are good, and something happened to Even Flow. Or no, I don't know who that was, actually.
That was Diamond. I think Diamond's going to take a pit stop, if you will, here. I think we will expect to see him back in the race.
Yeah.
And so right now that leaves the field single file for the most part. Austin will have to duck back in line back there in about the around the 8th spot. And Derek Smith continues to lead. He's been getting pushed by Marcus Vanderlee.
I'll tell you one thing right now. If they could just run around on that inside line, I mean, I know some drivers will get shuffled out. They could fall back to the back. You're just running laps right now. You're not trying to go for the win. You can't win the lap. You can't win the race right now. We're coming to 25 laps to go. It wouldn't probably be a bad idea if these drivers just ran around on this inside line.
And yeah, I mean, and it goes hand in hand with what those 3 drivers in the back were doing. We checked in on them just a couple laps ago. They're riding around. They don't even want to be in the thick of it. They even might be free of any possible stuttery lag that we know is sometimes an issue for a few drivers racing here at Talladega. As they're not racing around anyone, they don't have to worry about anything. Austin's loose here and
yeah, he got a big
overcorrects.
lead.
Yeah, nothing he could do there. Didn't have the control to prevent that, and it leaves King crazy going around.
Crazy actually might be able to hold back onto the pack. I think he might be fine.
Continuing single file for the most part here. Derek Smith will continue to lead these laps as long as it stays like this and Marcus chooses not to make a move. Taking in the sights and sounds of Talladega Superspeedway racing down towards the home stretch of this one here. Once lap 55 gets completed, that'll be the 20 to go mark of this race. And as they continue to wind down these laps under green, can't say it enough how it really makes these races go by. 75 laps is nothing when they're making it mostly under green flag.
Derek Smith, though, I'll tell you what. Derek Smith right now, calm, cool, collective. He gets a oh my God!
That is the first.
Austin Mitchell. Holy cow!
Bye-bye. That's the first ballpark of the race, too, under green. And more trouble here.
Holy cow. That was unbelievable.
I can't believe we made it all that time to lap 52 before one finally exits the racetrack under green. Although that's incorrect, isn't it? I know Axel did it earlier.
I think we had one other people.
Slight miscalculation on the events that happened earlier, but that's the most high-profile ballpark of the race, no doubt. Highest, as in closest to the stratosphere. Providing, there's the fans here that'll come just to enjoy a car taking lift off like that.
Yeah, they got a little antsy up front, but right as that it was happening with Austin. And honestly, I was watching Austin clear the park, clear the city, clear the track, clear the whole state of Alabama.
Yeah, he ended up over there in Birmingham, I think.
Yeah. Luckily, landed here in a hospital room, so he's all right.
Yeah, back on the racetrack he goes.
Yeah.
And
can't say enough about the AMR safety crew.
I mean, I kind of like the lull we're in at this point in the race. As I say that, should have never started that sentence. Marcus chooses to make a move. He's taking that momentum to the outside, but no one wants to go with him. I was going to mention how the drivers are content running single file, and Tyler into the outside wall. He'll collect Austin, who just rejoined the race.
Oh, my goodness. Well, honestly, I will give Marcus credit here. He did not want to do that. Phantom gave him a massive shot in that rear bumper out of 2, and he had nowhere else to go but the outside. So, he kind of just got it up there. The Peyton went up there with him. Crazy's going to go up there with him. Ryan's going to go up there with us. It's going to be 4 and 4 on this lead path.
Diamond
is around.
Looks like he was trying to rejoin the racetrack there. Didn't have the room, though. This time by will be the 20 to go mark on laps left to run at Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, I think what you were about to say though about being in the lull here. It is just making laps, running your times here. We got now 4 drivers in that other pack. The new driver in that pack now is King. I don't know how much ground they've made up. We'll have to take a look here this time around. But
and I have to keep reminding myself about how, are we missing drivers? Yes, we are. But you got to remember they're just a bit further back. two cars running on the outside here as we enter turn number 3 once again, but they're not going to have the momentum or the strength they need to compete with the inside. Derek Smith has been just leading plenty of laps, and I don't think much complaints from him either. He hasn't really had to fend off much of a battle, but some bumper locking here will disperse things, and it's going to create a bit of a tough situation here. Derek Smith just has to hope the drivers re-enter the racing surface legally. They all will. And that's just going to change up the drivers running behind Dar as Ryan
Phantom.
Wilson will go around.
Yeah, Phantom actually fell back to the back. He decided to let all the way to the back. Ryan actually came back up. He had room, and then Ryan got a bad bump, and that sent him around.
Door opens up here for Marcus to draft back up to the back bumper of Dar. He'll do so right here.
Oh, yep. Axel got in contact with Austin there. That was really just racing. I think Axel actually, if he could next with Ryan here, he'll be fine. Those two guys in the back.
More trouble in the back. 1J is around.
Well, it's kind of getting dispersed throughout the field. Coming around to complete lap number 57. Derek Smith, though, is in a good stretch right now.
Once Derek Smith has found that clean area, he's not having to fend off much of a challenge from other lanes, but he knows how to receive those pushes well, and drivers behind him are willing to push him and keep that momentum up, and it'll allow Derek Smith to continue to lead laps.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, too. That second pack of those four drivers, they are not making up ground.
Vanderlee got into the corner panel of Dar. Not if that seemed intentional, but it was a situation of some aggressive bumps, and it ends with Derek Smith being on the outside. Now drops down low once the door opens up there, and he'll resume the position he was in.
Comes crazy now up into the second position. He'll get a push from Phantom. 17 laps to go now.
Depp found one of those bad bumps. Luckily, no one wrecks because of it.
Ryan and Axel catch up here. But yeah, that second group of cars, they have got 5 drivers in it now as Diamond joined it. But I hate to say it, they are not making up any ground whatsoever. They've actually lost a bit of ground since we've gone to them. So
it's all about what their plan is. If it goes green to the end, they're going to have to choose to merge, before the 2 to go mark, which from 2 to go on, merges are illegal, not allowed, if it's going green to the end.
So right now here, I think this is the lull part of the race here. This is honestly, I think if I'm the spotter for these drivers, if I'm these drivers themselves, I'm thinking, where do I make that move? When do I plan to make my final move? What do I need to be to put myself in that position?
And the move for the win is worth 300 Robux. The prize for the winner here, the most of all the prizes, Robux prizes for all 4 races.
And we got one car in the grandstands.
Oh.
I don't know, I don't know how you do that out of a 5-car pack. But...
Well, every time I checked back there, Lean was not staying in line as much as the others were, and puts them in row 1, it looks like.
He will have to re-merge, but nevertheless, I think they'll be fine.
Trouble Crazy is around. He'll be on the roof by himself.
And Lean's almost able to rejoin that conga line, but...
Oh, Dar jumps out! Dar's jumped out of his car, but his car... Uh-oh.
This ain't gonna be good!
Look out! Into Tyler. This race can... Tyler's gonna save it, and Dar's car unattended is on the high side now.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. Derek Smith just...
I'm not sure what caused that there? Well, obviously the space bar did, but that's a rare mistake to make if you're Derek Smith. He's able to merge, though, because the car deleted itself, and he's just kind of hanging out there. Last I checked on him on the apron of 3 and 4.
Contact here, about to make on the back bumper of Marcus. Here's Phantom got there. Derek Smith.
Not able to join this time.
Nope.
That's all right for him, though. Some tight racing here off of 4.
Yeah, Ryan got a big bump, I think, from Lean and then Axel. Lean's now up here because he merged with these guys.
So the choice has been made there by Lean. And same goes for Diamond.
So
Trouble.
I would think that those other guys are going to merge with them, Ryan and Axel around. So single fall in the top front.
Yeah, that is what it's continuing to be as we near 10 to go. And at what point do the rest of the drivers that have chose to distance themselves from the lead pack, at what point do they rejoin?
Well, I got to think if 2 of them pulled off and they come into this pack, you've got to probably put yourself in a position to be up front here. You don't want to merge late because you don't know if you'll have enough time to merge with the rest of the field.
Because it has to be a clean and legal merge for them, and that means they have to merge behind the last car in the clearly defined lead pack.
Yep. Austin got a big bump there. He got pushed to the outside. Peyton will go. I'm telling you what, right there, those 2 drivers that jumped to the outside. You want 2 drivers to work with you on the outside? Those are the 2 drivers you want. Austin's been really good on the outside line. It's taken that outside line to places no one else has been able to take him to. And another thing is DePayton's been a guy that will go with you if you go to the outside. So I think you touched on a while ago, Zach. Those are 2 drivers that you want to help you if you're going on the outside. Look at the run they get.
And it takes other drivers willing to go up there with you. That's what Phantom did coming off of turn number 2. Made the move on the outside of Marcus and Vander Lee. And that number 5 even tried to block it, but he was unsuccessful. That's why Phantom leads the outside off of turn number 4. But now Marcus jumps up high. He's trying to check that momentum. And he will stay up there because here comes a run on the inside. Lean leading it in that red number 8.
Yeah, Marcus kind of almost screwed himself. I think he was able to get back to the low line. He will. Almost pushed himself 3 wide. That could have been bad for him. Nevertheless, but we have gotten word, though, that those guys in that other group, they will merge right here.
Here they are. They will have to merge legally and safely, and we'll watch it closely as leans into the back bumper of Marcus, almost turning him around. It sends him towards the inside wall, and they're going to have to rejoin safely. That's an illegal merge from Axel. He jumped right behind as Austin is into the wall hard once again.
Takes out Ryan.
There you go, Axel. You're good.
So that'll take out a few drivers. We will figure it back up out front. Took out Austin. No, I did. My bad. I took out Ryan. Ryan and a few others. They will merge back here with just 10 laps to go, though. I would say by the time we get 5 to go, it's going to be go time.
And while I was focusing on Axel there, once he rejoined too early, I did not see. Oh, Tyler, tough situation.
Bad bump into the merging Ethan.
Ethan remains okay, but Tyler does not, and Tyler will have to be the one merging now.
Single file through the whole front pack. A little bit of stragglers out front. Two drivers going up, but it's all going to be still single file. No, never mind.
Yeah, that changes about as quickly as you said it, as the even flow will take a bird's eye view of the campers on the infield and come to a tumble in the grass on the front stretch, and he'll have to merge once again.
Crazy almost got loose there as well.
Another merger. Ryan Wilson merges correctly.
Ooh, I'll tell you what, I really don't know what these drivers are going to do. I really don't know. I mean, it's all on the table right now. All these drivers, you really got a chance. Oh, there goes Axel.
Watch out. Oh, back up into the
Oh, he took
field.
out Diamond. Diamond's the odd man out.
Axel's
Oh, and now they're
around
going to turn again.
and hard
And
into the
they'll
catch
save
fence.
it again. I tell you what, if we had an award for the most saves in a race, I think Axel has got about, I don't know how, I think that's about a 6th different save in this race.
He's also involved in a lot of incidents as well, not the most ideal thing.
Oh, ball to the back right now. Phantom in the catbird seat. Ethan Santamaria up to the top 5 once again after trying the conga line, as they called it. It's not going to work well. He'll give a big push to Marcus, who'll just go right to the back bumper of Phantom.
As we get down towards the end, some housekeeping notes, if you will. The merges will have to continue to be proper and legal, and that means you have to clearly rejoin the racing surface after the lead pack has passed, and you have to catch on to the end of the draft. Additionally, the WL line rule will become more strictly enforced. You can't just pass below WL line, even if you're down there without controlling it, as crazy goes around. And then the most important thing I'm going to mention one last time, the merging rule changes once we reach 2 to go. When we reach 2 to go, you cannot merge if you wreck. You just have to keep going.
Yep. And with the way these guys have been racing, keep going might be helpful. With 7 laps to go, Phantom has the lead. DePayton behind him, the outside line. Now a big run. They got 5 cars stacked up there. They're going to keep getting pushes. Lean gets another big push from Marcus.
And Phantom back up onto the racetrack. Not sure if it was a bad push that sent him down, but he rejoined safely. And here's Austin in the middle, now pushing Lean. They're side by side off of turn number 4 as Dar's around.
Well, guess what? That's right, the 3 wide lines. It's not going to work. They have not been able to do that. Lean got contact. The Payton's around. Axel, he's not going to save this one.
Yes, he will.
He will. Why do I doubt Axel in all of this? He's been very good at somehow doing that.
I'm not sure. Maybe it looked like Lean was trying to block there as well, but it was too late.
6 laps to go, and now they're 3 by 3 behind Phantom. The question is, though, which line will start getting drivers? We have a handful of drivers going to be merging this time around. And the crazy thing is, though, these guys have not been able to hold it 3 wide. They've been too antsy. They've been too loose.
Well,
it really doesn't make me any confident that they'll be able to hold it here whenever you want to be the most on edge.
That's what I was about to say. There's at this point in the race, lifting will be not seen that often. These drivers are going to be on the throttle at 100%, especially when it comes to making moves. We saw that through the races yesterday. You can't expect a driver to take care of one another at this point in the race. They're all going for the winning prize. As Ethan is around, they're going to save it, though. No, Ryan Wilson won't.
Ryan will not. No. We got 2 drivers merging here on the back. That'll be Peyton and Lane. They'll fall to the back. At this point, if you merge, you're going to have to really be getting on the... Wow, what a move by Tyler. I did not expect that move. He will get a big push. File in line.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
The room is not there.
I thought Phantom was going to let him in. Phantom wanted to let him in. Tyler then drops the hammer, or drops the anchor. Falls back in line. Even will give him a push. And look who's on the outside line. No surprise.
Austin not clear, but he's going to stay on that outside racing. Phantom on the inside. 4 to go at the line. Trouble.
Well, 75 laps, and it comes down to this. Dar and Axel will probably have to merge. They'll be probably some of the last mergers of this race.
Indeed, 3 to go is the last lap that you could wreck and still re-merge in the field. After that, if you wreck, you just have to keep going, and then if you wreck out of the racetrack, well, then you're just kind of done.
Yep. Right now, though, the outside line for the first time in a long time here is the place to be. They really pulled ahead here. Marcus and Austin cleared out in front of Phantom. They both pulled down in front of him off of turn number 4. Coming to the line this time, it'll be 3 laps to go.
Some bumper locking there, not enough to cause any issues if you're Austin or Marcus. Austin continues in front of the front bumper. of the number 5 of Marcus Vanderlee, and he will continue to push. There it is, 3 to go at the line. These drivers are starting to get really aggressive as there's some contact and even flow around.
Even flow Rex. He will be able to merge. Same with the Peyton. Both drivers will be able to merge.
They will have to merge legally and at the back of the pack, though.
Two drivers merging down there. That's Axel and Dar. They'll have to wait for the field to pass. They are going to try to get up there. They will. They are all good. Meanwhile, Austin and Marcus, your top 2 right now into turn number 3.
King is around there. There's going to be some eliminations here. Well, no, not eliminations, but almost. Maybe some of the last mergers we'll see. Eliminations will start. Eliminations will start this time by if you wreck. Eliminations as in you cannot remerge into the field.
Boy, oh boy, fans here on their feet. 2 laps to go. Green flag here in this entire second half of the race. I don't know how, though.
Austin continuing to hold true on that WL line. Marcus has been continuing to push him, and here comes an elimination for Ethan. His chances of winning this are done.
The pole sitter, Ethan Santamaria, you gotta feel bad for him. He had a chance at this one late.
Boy, Austin surely looking at his mirror at this point in the race, and he knows he's feeling these pushes with how aggressive they are, but he's holding that top spot right now through 3 and 4.
King will be the last driver to merge into this field. Big push coming to Austin Mitchell. Now the outside line, trying to get some momentum into the travel. White flag in the air.
And here it is. This will be the final lap right here. Here comes the push as Marcus is around.
Hard into the wall. Oh, Austin, back up into the field. Here comes Axel. He's fun. Everybody's wrecking. Here comes the Peyton. Phantom and Dar will go. I don't know how all those drivers even made it out. Marcus is still in this. Look at him in the back, but I don't think he has a chance. Phantom's around.
Here comes the push.
On the back of Austin.
Ryan Wilson to Austin, puts Austin back in front, and he clears into turn 3. Madness behind.
I don't know how they did that. Austin somehow back out front, trying to hold on to get this thing done.
A big push there is going to push him out in front. He's going to have to fend off one more push.
The Peyton goes to the outside. He'll have a run.
No!
Oh, they make contact. It's sideways. He's back down. He saves it. It's going to be at the line. It's the Peyton. Oh, my goodness. Austin goes up for the block onto Peyton. And it turns them, and they save. Oh, my gosh.
A lot to unpack there. Austin really trying to block depth, as you would expect, come to the checkered flag. And once the contact was made, I thought Austin might have saved it there for a second and taken the win still. And ultimately, Depp, spinning across the line, somehow finds the checker flag first. We're even going to have to double-check that, but it did seem that would be the case. Absolute madness on that last lap, and I'm sure a lot of drivers not happy with a couple others.
Yeah, looking here at the finishing results, it is going to be Austin finished on his side. But it's going to be DePayton, who is finished sideways. Lean, Austin Mitchell, Ryan, and King are your top 5. It was a photo finish for the 5th place between King and Even. Holy cow, what a finish in this one. And, holy cow. That was all out at the end there for that one. And with that being said, let's get into the top 5 interviews here. We'll end up just starting here with the top 4 here. 4th place finish here. And that is Ryan Wilson.
Oh.
And Ryan, a 4th place finish for you. Ever since you entered the race here, it seemed like you guys here had some speed, especially when trying to run that outside line. You guys got caught up in a handful of incidents, but you get a top 5 out of it. How do you feel?
I'm happy. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty happy about what happened today. I mean, I wasn't even supposed to show up today at all, but made my time, got up here, raced. It was pretty fun racing. Shout out to all these guys out here today for just being really good out here. It's pretty fun. Would love to do this again. I'm certainly down for it. But other than that, I mean, we had a few cars decide that they wanted to go to fucking Mars or something. I don't know. But other than that, I mean, that was pretty crazy. I loved it. Oh, and shout out to all the hot moms.
Cody. Might have lost.
I think we might have lost
my
Cody.
bad. Yeah, we obviously got a lot of racing on the final laps. How did anything different you could have done maybe to put yourself in a better position to get that win?
Probably not. I mean, got all these guys going all spinning out on all over the place on the last lap. I mean, can't really put yourself in a good position when you have that happen on your show. Yeah. Shit happens.
All right. Well, that's Ryan Wilson here. He gets a 4th place finish here. Let's see if we get maybe a word in with Zack. No, we'll send it over to Zack here. He's got the 2nd place finisher, Lean, maybe? No, he does not. Hold on. Let's see here if we do. I don't think we do. So that leaves just one driver left, and that is our winner, and Zack's got him.
We're going to find the winner, De Payton, who has not yet made his way to Victory Lane. He's still celebrating there. Actually, he might just head over to them. Here he comes, finding his way towards Victory Lane.
Well-known driver, as we like to call the Heat Miser.
The Heat Miser pulls it in, and he's going to be taking home the trophy and the prize here from Talladega. Jumps out of the car, and he'll be celebrating the win here in definitely the craziest fashion we've seen all weekend. And Depp, it was definitely a crazy one there. There's no doubt about it. You were making the run on Austin there. You took the run to the outside in the tri-oval, and he went up to block, and then contact ensued, and then just more craziness ensued. You end up winning this race while spinning across the line. Your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, man, it's a move that I practice a lot. Last lap you follow the leader, and then you make a move with the run you get. Whoever was behind me gave me the push. I took it high, and it got a little aggressive. But I'm glad I was able to pull it off.
And I think aggressiveness is an understatement for what happened here today. But you made your presence felt as a good car, willing to work on that outside. Actually, a lot of times working with Austin, and it came down to a battle between you and him. And just throughout the race, kind of tell us about what you felt in your car and your confidence to be able to draft in different parts of the pack, especially when it came to drafting up high.
The high line from the start of the race, it just felt I was more comfortable up there. So I wanted to try to make that work as much as I could. So that's just how. So anytime somebody was up there pushing, I wanted to go up there and help them. That was just how I was. That line felt more comfortable. The car was more stable up there. So that's just how I wanted to stay up there as much as I could. Try and make it work as best I could. Encourage other people to go up there with me.
And with the craziness that happened this race, and yeah, it was all over the place as far as craziness. There's moments where it was very tame, and moments where it was the opposite. And especially on that last lap, it was the opposite of tame. But just throughout the race, can you kind of tell us about how tough it was dealing with some of the wrecks this race, some of the craziness, and then just battling through, surviving that last lap to make the pass for the win? And yeah, your thoughts on that?
It was crazy, bro. Like,
Yeah.
It was wild trying to survive and stuff. I was able to squeeze my way through a lot of those threats, but the ones I was collected in, I just had to regroup and, I had to regroup and recover. And I'm glad I was able to do that. And especially surviving the last lap. Don't know how I made it past some of those wrecks down the backstretch and entering 3. but I'm glad I made it through, and I'm glad I was able to get the win.
And my last question for you will be to kind of reflect on the week, and ultimately you race in, I think, just this cup race. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is my only race of the weekend.
Well, there you go. So you take home the biggest prize of the weekend. You'll be recognized as the first cup winner of some Talladega events organized by the Mike Motors Group. And all in all told, being able to take home the prize, how does this make you feel, and how does it make you kind of look forward to maybe some future events like this?
It feels amazing, you know. Ain't no feeling better than this in road race. You know, it being the first winner of a event, you know, it's a lot, you know. It's cool. I like that. But you know, Heat Miser will be back, I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, we love to hear it. You will be the winner of the 300 Robux prize, and your win will be immortalized on YouTube as well. You'll be able to take a look back at that replay, all 75 laps of it. Depp, the winner of the cup race at Talladega. With that, we're going to have some final thoughts before we end the stream with me and my partner, Cody Sill. And it was first off just a pleasure to be able to bring this content to RRN on this first edition of Talladega Weekend, administered within the Mike Motors group, the Mike Motors Discord. And the bottom line is that we know a lot of drivers had fun this weekend. All 4 races of it, all 4 finishes, very different as well. And I do believe they all came with last lap passes. I could be wrong on that, but nonetheless, I know every finish came down to the end, and it was not for sure who would win until that checkered flag flew at the line. So, Cody Sill, your just thoughts reflecting on the weekend.
Yeah, I mean it was overall here a very successful weekend. Start off with Arca, who honestly, surprisingly, that was the second biggest race we had the entire weekend here, field wise. The Cup actually had the most, but it was a really good uh I don't even know how to explain it. Just overall racing. I mean, just the action packed here from the drop of the green flag and everything. From each event here, each event provided its own type of racing here. I think the trucks was a little bit more probably the more calmer of all 4 events. The Cup was the craziest. Arca had a good event here. Xfinity, they put on a great show. It was battling till the end there. So each event brought its own uniqueness to the table, and it really showed how well the racing here at Talladega can be.
I couldn't have said it better, I don't think, and it certainly made us very happy. We enjoyed putting it all together, and of course putting this cup race on YouTube on the live stream. And we will now close the book on this weekend, but open up the possibility of a weekend just like this at Talladega returning in the very near future. Depp is the winner of the cup race here at Talladega, and with that, on behalf of Cody Sill, who put a lot of work into this as well, my name is Zack Tafelski on behalf of RRN and the YouTube and everyone in the Mike Motors Discord. We hope you have a good night, and we hope you take